What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Lightbringer. Yes, indeed, Lightbringer fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Krauser, and Krauser wanted me to react to this song by Lightbringer called Venus.
Dirty word! He said a dirty word!
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait, hold it, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Krauser. Little self-promotion there, I like that. And the video has 129 views. Nah, it's not gonna get you there, sorry. Look, I'm sure the song is fine, I'm sure the video's fine, I'm sure everything's just fine. I'm just saying, 129 views, nah, it's not gonna get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Lightbringer Venus Live HD. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
So we're doing encores? That'd be my guess. Swinging the towel, swinging the towel. Yes. The biggie on the bass. Fuki on vocals, Hibiki on bass, keyboardist is Mal, right? I'm trying, Krauser, I'm trying.
じゃあもうちょっとやろうか。皆さんのその有り余る元気が偽物じゃないってことを証明してもらおうか。
Yeah, what she said. Hey.
なんてもうダメだ、全然聞き取れない。まだまだ元気ありますか？まだまだ元気ですか？ OK、それじゃあ楽しんでいきましょう。次はこの曲だ。みんな真似してわかんない人も。はいはいはいはいはいはい覚えた？はいはいはいはいはいもうちょっと。 いいね。よし、そのままワン、ツー、ワン、ツー、スリー、フォー、ファイブ、はいはいはい、はいはい
Don't C? Yeah, we're in C. Okay. A little bit of an unusual key for, rock and metal bands to be in, but I mean, it's I like it. I got no problem with it. Especially sounds like we got a little bit of a major notational selection happening in the keyboard, which is kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing. So feels good. I'm assuming this is an encore, like first encore, probably. Nice. It was nice to have all that crowd interaction at the beginning. Whenever it's funny. I see a lot of bands do variations of what to do to start your encore. You know, everybody leaves and, you know, the stage, you know, the lights go out and, you know, the crowd makes a whole bunch of noise. Lights come back up and here comes the band. Now, I've seen bands just come back on stage with their instruments, or they come on stage, pick up their instruments, and they go right into the song. No explanation, no crowd interaction, no nothing. They just come out and they just start playing. I always feel kind of cheated when bands do that. I always feel like they're missing opportunities. You know what I mean? I love it when bands come out and they, you know, wave to the crowd, interact with the crowd, get the crowd clapping, get the crowd fired up, and then they start the song. The way that they did it was very similar, but it was a little more talking, getting the crowd to interact, a little more explanation. I think, I'm not 100%. I don't know what, I have no idea what Fuki said. She could be giving them, you know, her recipe for chicken and dumplings for all I know. I have no idea, you know, but but at the same time, the crowd responded well to her. Now the song's kicked in, drummer's taking the lead, and the crowd is following along with the cues. So I think that's a great way to get the crowd reinvested into the performance, gets the crowd's attention, and once again gets the crowd fired up. And I think that's a very smart approach. So anyway, let's keep going here. Nice job. F sharp now. We're all over the place. Don't bump into anybody. Okay, so let me see if I got this straight. Introduction, they were in C, right? And then from C, they go into the chorus, a instrumental part of the chorus, no vocals yet, but they go into the chorus, which is an A minor, and then for the verses, they drop down another minor third. So we've gone from C down a minor third to A, down another minor third to F sharp for the verses. That's cool, man. You don't hear that happen too often because your eventual jump from the C to the F sharp, that's a flat 5. If I'm not mistaken, right? F sharp to C. Yeah, that's a flat 5 integer. But they go about it by doing a minor third and a minor third. That's clever. I gotta say, it does. Okay, notationally, it does sound a little awkward. Okay, it does. Going from the C major to the A to the F sharp, that's a little bit of a stretch. No, but I think they mitigate that by moving in thirds. So the C to the A, that's not a problem. That's just a minor third down. No problem there. Okay, easy enough. From the A to the F sharp, another minor third. Again, not a problem. That's very easily accepted. That the ears won't have a problem with that. But you're just looking at the bigger scope of things. You're looking at the larger picture, though. A C to an F sharp, yeah, that sounds weird. that sounds strange. Like I said, I think they mitigated it by having just a third and then a third, and giving each one of those thirds an opportunity to establish itself. So smart move, definitely a smart move. An unusual move, yes, not at all what you would typically hear from bands in general, but at the end of the day, though, it works. It absolutely works. And I gotta give them credit for making that work, because that's not easy to do. Let's keep going here. Now Renee. I wonder if we're going to go back to the C at some point. Man, the Biggie got cheated. Everybody else had these nice long solos, and Hibiki gets a little, one measure. Here's a measure for you, Hibiki. Take it. That's all she gets.
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Boo! I protest.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I protest, and I'm going to write a very sternly worded letter to my congressman.
I am the hype.
And I'm going to protest this unfair treatment of Hibiki. I don't appreciate it, and I'm very offended by what I just saw and heard.
What do you care?
As a bassist myself, I feel attacked.
Gene Okerlund right here is a crying towel. And I want you to give that to Tito Santana.
Anyway. No, I do feel like she kind of got slighted there. I wish she, look, you're going to give her one measure anyway. Why not just give her 4? Even 4 measures would have been better. Just 1? Anyway. The solo section that we did here, though, we had some nice work together. A lot of, I mean, aside from the solos, don't get me wrong, everybody's solo sounded just fine. But more important than what was happening with the solo, to me anyway, is what was happening in the background. So, like, when the keyboardist was soloing, when Mao was soloing, you had Hibiki and the guitar player come over, and they weren't playing perfectly in unison. Like, they would play, half the riff in unison the first half, and then the second half, guitar player would continue, and Hibiki would come back down to establish the root. And then they would come back up and play unison again together for the first half, and then she would go back down to reestablish the bottom end while the guitar player kept doing his thing. Now, when the guitar player took over and the guitar player took on the solo, Mao and Hibiki came together and they played unison the entire time. They played every riff together in unison. When that happened, they sounded good together. Don't get me wrong. They did sound good together, but it did kind of thin out. It did kind of empty out a little bit. And I kind of wish Hibiki had taken the same approach that she had taken with the guitar player and only played the first half in unison with Mao and the second half reestablished the bottom end. I think it would have kept it sounding a little bit fuller. When Mao and the guitar player did their unison work together, Hibiki did a great job filling out the bottom end and keeping the sound full the whole time. So it was interesting. I like the solo work. I do. The unison work together, though, in the background, I thought was just as impressive as the solos were. So they both added to the overall presentation. So that's good. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's just finish this out and we'll get to the review. That's all she gets. Yeah, sing along, folks. Oh, just like the beginning. Deep Purple vibe there at the end with the organ patch. Kind of getting a Deep Purple vibe there at the very end with the organ. I like that. That sounded good. I think I covered everything during the course of the reaction. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. This should be a short review. Then again, you know me, and I'll say that 20 minutes later. I'm gonna try my best to keep it short because, like I said, there really is not a lot to talk about that I didn't talk about during the reaction. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Lightbringer with Venus. This was a request from Krauser. Okay, like I said, there's not really a whole lot to talk about that I didn't talk about during the reaction, so I'm seriously just going to hit some bullet points, just kind of remind everybody what I said, and we're going to call it a night. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep this short, but you know me, no promises, other than I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, right.
Let's start with the score first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that an 8.5. Yep, 8.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, an 8.5, what does that mean? Well, an 8.5 would translate to a great scale rating, so I think overall this was a great presentation. It would get 4 out of 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.5, great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, is it the most impressive song I've ever heard from Lightbringer? No, it's not the most impressive I've ever heard, but it sounded really good. It had a nice groove to it. I like the idea of modulating between the A and the F sharp, primarily. The C at the very beginning, I have a feeling that was just an intro. I don't think that was actually part of the song. Now, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but something tells me that that wasn't an actual part of the recorded song. Something tells me that that was, an intro. Now, I could be wrong, and that could be part of the song. If it is, that makes things even more interesting, but something tells me it's not. The way they came in on the A, coming out of the C, it just felt like that's where the song's starting. That's the beginning of the song. And utilizing the A and the F sharp constantly between those two and never going back up to the C makes me think even more that that C was just like an intro for the song. But modulating between the F sharp for the verse and the A for the chorus, I think that was very smart. It sounded really good. It worked really well. As far as the chordal progression for the song, like I said, it's not hard to follow. Not the most impressive songwriting I've heard from Lightbringer, but it was absolutely solid, and I got no issue with the songwriting whatsoever. I've heard more impressive songs, though. But it felt good, it sounded good, it had a nice groove going for it, and there was some really cool things happening instrumentally throughout the song. I already spoke at length about the soloing that they did and the groupings that they did, two playing together while one solos. And I already told you how I feel about certain aspects of it, so I'm not going to repeat myself. If you want to know what I thought about it, go back in the reaction and hear me go in detail about what I said. I love the fact that Hibiki was utilized as much as she was within the context of the unison work, but I do feel like she kind of got slighted on the solo part. I wish she had gotten a little more of a chance to shine. Vocally, I think Fuki sounded great on this. I really do. I think this was, I don't think it's the most impressive vocal performance, but I will say this, some of the most tasteful singing I've heard. She showed great restraint in this song. She could have done more. She could have done a lot more. She could have gone over the top with her vibrato like we've heard her do several times in the past. She could have done far more impressive vocal technique and vocal work and hitting more range and stuff like that. But honestly, if she had done that, I wonder how well it would have fit within the confines of the song. Honestly, I don't think it would have. I think what she did sounded just fine within the context of the song. Impressive? No. Tasteful? Yes. And at the end of the day, which is more important? I think taste. I think everybody will agree with me that taste is, far more important.
It tastes great. Less filling. Tastes great. Less filling. Tastes great.
But great taste should win over less filling. And honestly, if she had gone more filler, I think it would have taken away from the taste of the song. So let's go, Bud Light fans. You know what I'm talking about. You know you're out there. Don't pretend like you're not. Let's see. As far as the live performance goes, I think everybody did a great job across the board. Did it help the score? Yes, it did, but it didn't help as much as you might think. We did have some crowd interaction. We had quite a bit of crowd interaction, honestly. And stage energy looked good. I like that. We had stage interaction as well. I don't know, some of the stage interaction looked, I hate to say it, but some of the stage interaction looked forced. Like, in particular from the guitar player. Now, I don't know who the guitar player is. Krauser said don't worry about the guitar players and the drummers because, unfortunately, Lightbringer is a bit of a revolving door when it comes to their drummers and the guitar players. So he said don't worry about remembering their names because you won't. But because every performance, it's different. But he does want me to remember the vocals, the bassist, and the keyboardist. So I'm working on that. But whenever the guitar player would interact with somebody in the band, didn't matter who it was, it looked forced. Like he didn't It looked like he was really concentrating and trying to remember who to react with when, almost as if it was designed and planned. Now, is there anything wrong with blocking? No, there's nothing wrong with blocking. I've been in bands where we rehearsed our blocking all the time. Okay, on this part, we're all gonna come up to the front of the stage and headbang together. On this part, you and Queenie are gonna go back to back and you're gonna, rock out together. And over here, you're gonna get on your back, you're gonna get down your knee while somebody does a butterfly kick over you. We work on our blocking, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to, when you work on blocking, it should take the thought out of, what to do and allow you to put more thought into how you're gonna look doing it. And he looked like he wasn't sure what to do, and he had to kind of remember where to go and who to interact with. And as a result, it ended up looking kind of sterile. It ended up looking a little robotic. So was there stage interaction? Yes, there was, but it looked forced. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna call it spade a spade. It looked forced. And that, like I said, it's probably because he's new and he doesn't know what he's doing yet. So that's unfortunate, but it does affect. It was covered, but I'm giving that a very light check. The showmanship was there, yes. Stage presence. Okay, I'm giving it a check, but I'm really curious. I know that, I'm not even sure if I'm 100% right, but was this the first song to start the encore? I mean, I'm making that assumption because we saw everybody enter the stage from stage right, which is where bands typically exit stage right when they're gonna do an encore. Now, not always, but typically bands doing an encore, they exit stage right. When the bands are done, they're finished for the night, they exit stage left. So this is typically how bands work. Don't ask me why that is. Honestly, I don't know. I wish I knew. If somebody could explain that to me, why that is. I mean, look, I've been in this industry a long time, and I've asked stage managers, why do we have to exit stage right when we're doing an encore? And why do we exit stage left? And you know what this stage manager did? Shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't know.
They have no idea.
Thanks. Thanks for clarifying that, man. I really appreciate that. I don't understand why that is, but I saw everybody enter from stage right, so I'm assuming this is an encore, okay? Is it an encore? I'm like 95% sure it is. If y'all could let me know if that's true or not. I'm not 100% sure, but why did Fuki come back out? Was Fuki wearing that t-shirt for the entire show? Or did she go off stage and, towel off and whatever, and did she just put that on? I don't know. I wish I knew, but kind of a weird look for her, if I'm being honest. Especially considering that she looks like she's wearing a dress underneath it. I'm like, wonder what's up with the t-shirt. Anyway, taking everything into account here, taking the song into account, it's a fun song. It's got some nice energy. Not the most complex song I've heard by Lightbringer by their own standards, but still a fun song nonetheless. Take that into account along with the live show, and we're coming up with an 8.5. So I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.5, which is a great scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.